Australia's Deputy Prime Minister and Defence Minister has reiterated that the security and stability of the Solomon Islands are of importance to Australia following the announcement of the $190 million funding boost to support our SIPF. Sharon Nanau reports.
Solomon Islands' security stability is in the best interest of Australia. Australia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence, Richard Marles MP, made this statement in response to a question raised on what Australia plans to gain from the $190 million funding support to the Royal Solomon Island Police Force. Mr. Marles said the support is also part of Australia's role as Solomon Islands' first security partner of choice.
What we stand to gain as Australians is having a stable, peaceful neighbour. Fundamentally, it is in Australia's interest to see the human development advance as much as possible throughout the Pacific. This is our neighbourhood. And we want to see prosperity grow throughout the Pacific. We want to see that happen here in Solomon Islands. Having a capable police force in Solomon Islands, which is run and operated here by Solomon Islanders, maintaining Solomon Islands' own security, is hugely advantageous for Australia. I mean, it really is a win-win for both countries. Australia has made very significant commitments in the past, Ramsay being the obvious example, when there have been issues, and that's the case throughout the Pacific. It's an example of where we see that having a peaceful, prosperous, stable Pacific, where human development is moving forward at a pace, is something that is deeply in our national interest. And so this is very much a partnership that this government here is really wanting to move down this path in a very significant way. We see as a real opportunity for Australia, and so being able to partner with Solomon Islands in respect of this is something that is going to be great for Solomon Islands, but it is going to be great for Australia as well.
When asked if China's security relations with Solomon Islands is a concern for Australia and if this was raised with Prime Minister Jeremiah Manele, Mr. Marles said Australia is comfortable and happy with the security relations shared by both countries.
Look, we are very comfortable with our relationship with Solomon Islands. And specifically with what we are doing in terms of our cooperation with the RSIPF. Obviously, that's the case in terms of the agreement that we've signed. And I really want to emphasise that. We could not be happier in terms of the way in which we are engaging with the Solomon Islands government on these matters. And that is how we think about it. We want to get our bilateral relationship with Solomon Islands right. And I think our bilateral relationship with the country between Australia and Solomon Islands is in as good a shape today as I can remember it. And I've been involved in this relationship over a long period of time. And we are very comfortable with that generally, and we are very comfortable with that specifically in terms of our engagement with RSIPF.
Sharon Nanau, SIBC TV.
Still on Australia's security to Solomon Islands, Australia is set to establish an international standard police training academy for the Royal Solomon Islands Police Force, RSIPF, as part of a $190 million funding package aimed at strengthening security and law enforcement in the Solomon Islands. Sharon Nanau with the details.
The establishment of an international standard police training academy for the Royal Solomon Island Police Force is one of the main projects to be delivered under Australia's $190 million funding support to RSIPF. Australia's Deputy Prime Minister and Minister for Defence, Richard Marles MP, told local media during his visit to the country on Saturday. He said along with the police academy, other development security-related priority areas are to be led by the Solomon Islands government.
Firstly, that At the heart of this is going to be the establishment of a training centre here in Honiara. So that's really perhaps the most significant, substantive way in which I can answer the question. And the importance of quality training and high-class training for police is essential in terms of enabling them to do their job. But the second point I'd make, and it really does come from the discussions that we've had today, in terms of the specific priorities and how the Solomon Islands Police Force grows, and it will grow as a result of this agreement, we really see that as something which should rightly be led by the Solomon Islands government. And they are in the driver's seat in terms of what priorities they want to see pursued first and quickest and in the most significant way. And that is what will happen with the MOU that we will be working with the Solomon Islands in concluding as quickly as possible. So, training is a key part of it, but at the end of the day, we are here to respond to the priorities that are set forth by the Solomon Islands government. It is their police force, which we are helping to support here, and we're.
Mr. Miles adds Australia is committed to support Solomon Islands security for the long run.
We're there for the duration, and you're right. What we want to see is a police force which has Solomon Islands standing on its own 2 feet, which is capable and able to operate, well trained and able to operate right around the country. And so we will be there for the duration, for as long as it takes. But this is a $190 million commitment over the next 4 years. It is a very significant contribution, and we want to see this happen at a pace. And that amount of funding over that period of time speaks to the pace at which we will see the Solomon Islands Police Force improve its capability and start to grow.
Sharon Nanal, SIBC TV.